there's been a little change of plans. If I post these videos in the... Damn, drop. If I post these videos in the right order, this will make sense. But I'm going out to mow a field. I said I was probably going to let it stand a little bit longer. Finished this one yesterday. Between the other one I had down, didn't get quite as much as I thought I was going to get out of it. So, thought about this field. I said it wasn't going to cut. Well, maybe I go down, take a walk down in it further, see if it gets a little bit better. You know, if I got to rake 3 into 1, fine. You know, that field should be another 2 loads easy. Well, last night when I was finishing up here, I seen some deer walk across that field, and it looked like it was up to the deer's belly. So shit, that's pretty good down in there then. So I did walk down there, and you get down this field a little bit, it does get a little bit better. And now I'm driving past this corn here, and it's over the cab of the tractor. I just don't know why I'm getting these yellowish leaves right now, but this corn's coming along. But so I figured I was going to have, I had to switch bags, and I figured I was going to have 5 to 6 loads to fill that in that bag. It'd be worth it. I ended up with 4 loads so far. Now this corner here is going to be pretty damn thin. Probably not even worth picking it up. But you get down in there further, you get to turn the corner here. Alright, I'm not going to show up too well here distance. But this here, there's a lot of fine clover, and it's short. Down there you can see it's greener, and it should turn out pretty good. And there is more of well, this was seeded canary grass. It's more of a grass. I don't know why this area up here thinned out. Now, really like to see how this turns out different, because I started spreading manure after I took the first cutting off from the cow barn down there. These neighbors here, this is a neighbor's ground, they have a couple horses, and they have no place to pasture the horses, so you let them use the one pen area across the road on ours. Well, then they have no place to stack the manure either. So basically, for use of this ground, and even though we've never said this is an agreement, this is what's in my head. For use of this ground, they're using my pasture for the horses, and they're stacking the manure on my ground, and then I'm hauling the manure out and spreading it. Well, to get some of that piled down, this half here is what I did spread the horse manure on. So, I don't know if it's going to be any better or not. So, that's what we're doing here now. So, let's see if we get at least one round on this, see how it looks. Go around their horse. A couple years ago they lost one of the horses. Personally, I think it's the vet's fault. I don't think the vet knew what they were doing. But they needed to get rid of it somewhere. Didn't know if anybody would haul it off. So they brought it out here and buried it. And it's a hump there now. I just never asked them if they'd be all right if I leveled it off. I mean, the daughter's in college. I think she's a little bit above me driving over her horse's grave. So I'm going to find out here and just level it off so I can drive over it. I got a Get the brush hog out here and trim this stuff back. And I never came out here and picked up the tree limbs that blew down. Now you should be able to see this a little bit better down here. You can see it's sticking out a pretty good windrow there now. Problem there, I got to pump some manure out here yet. Throws out a heavy lump. That gets wet down in there. But it might be dry enough now I can get it mowed back. I don't know why that spot was wet this year. I couldn't get through that no how. We never had problems in that spot. Water was just running out. I left the rut and there's a little bit of a trench that runs down through there, and it started running water. There is springs in this field, I think. That's why we planted just the canary grass. We haven't had corn in here probably in 20 years at least. You just don't get in this ground in October, November very well. I remember back in the late 70s, the early 80s, we had corn back here. It had to have been the early 80s. We had that 880 Oliver at the time. So we plowed this with. The neighbor was chopping for us. They had a Murray Hill, which is a four-wheel drive tractor, one of the few four-wheel drive tractors back at that time, on the chopper, and then they were pulling it through with a log skidder. That was one time I remember, and then a couple years after that we had corn in here again. They had a TW20 Ford, and I remember the one son was chopping, he was coming up through here just flying, he was flinging mud clear over the back of the chopper. Like I say, it just got to the point it wasn't worth the fight. So we seeded it down to canary grass at the time. And that makes good feed if you cut it when it's like at this stage. You let it grow up and then head out. Feed quality just goes down. The cows don't want nothing to do with it. And you can see a difference at this end compared to the other end. About a disc bine over a hay bine. Hay bine probably wouldn't cut this. It's too short for the reel to pick it up. And it's so fine stemmed, it just comes up on the cutter bar. Or a disc bine here, the knives actually kind of make like a suction. They actually kind of sucking it up a little bit. That actually mows it pretty good. parts of the windrow down here. Be at least 2 load here. And that's the other thing about cutting it here now. I thought, well, we'll let it go, get a little more growth. Well, it's probably growing about as much as it's going to right now. Mowing it off, it's like mowing your lawn. The more often you mow it, the more often you seem to have to mow it. Like I said, if I mow this off now, it'll stimulate it. This is Sunday. We got rain forecast for Tuesday and the Wednesday. So I say, if I get this mowed off here now, get that rain on it, I might get this much more of a cutting here by the 1st of October. Where if I let it go, it might grow another 2-3 inches. 3 inches, you know. So overall, I'm better off mowing it now, I think. That's the thing. I'd cut that, but it's not my property. I'm going to cut it anyhow. That thing, it's don't know how much of my on somebody else's property I can cut it back. And this tree line should be, or this brush line should be back there another 15 feet. So every year it keeps growing out. And like I say, it's not my ground to just go in there and cut it down, but I don't think they're going to care if I come in here with the brush hog and take these out. I don't think they're going to say anything, but if I cut tree limbs and stuff, that's a little bit of a different story. So that's going to be my next hour, hour and a half. So I'm letting this here. My battery's about ready to die anyhow. So all I got to do is get this mowed, come out here, at least double them up, maybe triple them. Got one wagon still loaded from yesterday, got to get unloaded. And then get out here. See, I don't think I'm going to get this on 2 wagons. But I can get this on wagons tonight. That's all I care. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you later.